What's the word, y'all? It's Double R the guy tapping in with y'all. So look, we about to talk about the psychological effects of wearing a mask. What's the first psychological and subconscious effect of wearing a mask? Well, the first one, right off the rip, is your right to talk has been taken away. What you say is not important. You can barely talk through a mask. Your mouth is being covered. You have no right to speak. So honestly, that's a direct shot at who you are as a being. The second psychological effect of wearing a mask is taking away your identity. If you don't have the ability to voice your opinion and to speak on things that you want to speak on, then part of your identity is being taken away. In the same way that you look like everybody else, you can't express yourself in the same way. Yo being is literally being masked up. Okay, you know, when you in the store and you got a mask on, you can barely understand what the fuck anybody talking about, to the point to where you gotta take your shit off and talk to them. It make you not even want to talk to people. It make you not want to be an outgoing person. It makes you not want to communicate, network, and do all that type of stuff, because you are you can't even speak to people. You got to stay a certain distance away. All right, everybody's slowly becoming indistinguishable from the next person. People are starting to morph into slaves on the low. Like, it's getting to the point to where you know, you got workers that are being manipulated subconsciously by this whole corona shit to enforce out wearing a mask. You wearing a mask as a worker don't even want to wear a mask, and now you forcing somebody else to do it to uphold your job. And I'm not talking about people that's doing it just to keep their job because that's what they have to do. I'm talking about people that's going above and beyond, trying to fight people and call the police to because somebody don't have a mask on. Like, you know how crazy that shit sound? And it's crazy because a lot of people are starting to just get warped into this shit and becoming slaves and thinking that wearing a mask is the new normal. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all listening to what I'm saying right now, and y'all like, man, this nigga are tripping, you don't even realize you subconsciously normalizing something that's not normal already. You already cool with the fact that I don't mind wearing these. If you in your mind saying they not that bad, you already are a part of the problem and are adding on to it. Because I'm gonna tell y'all this: if y'all think that they gonna tell us to take these masks off, it's not gonna happen. They gonna have you walking around with that bitch on for the rest of your life if you don't take it off. So I'm telling y'all to take these masks off. I don't wear a mask. Only place that I wear a mask is in the airport and in the gym. And that's because I have to go to the gym. I have to go in there. But when I get in there, I take my shit off. So we need to form a system or something where niggas is taking their mask off because they are not going to tell us to take it off. And I know it's a group of y'all that think these masks work. So I'm going to explain something to you. The mask that you wearing is not a mask created to protect you from a virus. When you watch a scary movie about a virus outbreak, niggas are in hazmat suits. They have to get cleaned down. They gotta, if you not wearing one of them, you not being protected from nothing. I'm gonna be honest with you. You have a mask on that is used to perform surgical procedures to stop you from getting shit like blood on you and guts, not a virus. You know how big a virus is? I'm gonna tell you how big a virus is. It's so big you can't see it. Or it's so little you cannot see it. You feel me? That's how big a virus is. So I'm gonna just look. Blood can go through a surgical mask. So what make y'all think that a virus can't get through a surgical mask? On top of that, if the virus is floating in the air, it's going through your mask. It's not going to just dodge around your mask. Most of y'all masks don't even close on the side. Most of y'all don't have gloves on. There's something called cross-contamination. When you touch one thing and you touch another thing and they contaminate each other, yeah, that's what y'all doing on a 24/7 basis. Every time you go into a store, it don't make sense. It don't make sense that y'all talking about we need to wear a mask for not just the safety of the people who feel like you don't need to wear one, but for people who are actually fearful. Well, if you fearful, then you don't need to be in the most populated places where everybody's at. If you fearful of your life and you scared of a virus, you don't need to be in a grocery store. You don't need to be touching everything that's in the grocery store, touching the handles in the grocery store, touching the same buggies that's in the grocery store. You have to then take off your mask with the same hand you've been touching everything with. So please tell me how a mask is protecting you from catching a virus, but you don't have no gloves on. That does not make any fucking sense. And I want y'all to really think about that. Really think about that. You go into the store, you hand a nigga money with the same, bro. I shouldn't have to explain any further. That shit should make perfect amount of sense. I'm honestly tired of talking about this mask shit, but niggas don't get it. Y'all really don't. Y'all really don't get it. Y'all really think it's something out here trying to kill y'all. On top of all of that, what y'all need to understand is that you're not getting sick because of a virus. You're getting sick because your eating habits are shit. That's why you're getting sick. If you eating all the stuff about bacteria and viruses, all that shit is true. But y'all need to study another science called holism, about being whole and about eating, about reversing how illnesses are being reversed. Do y'all not know who Dr. Sebi is? Y'all need to look up Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi teaches all of this shit on how cancer can be reversed through a vegan diet and how any disease can be reversed through a vegan diet. So while you out here running around with a mask on, you need to be more so concerned what's going on the inside of your body as opposed to the outside of your body. Because if you was eating the proper way and you had the knowledge of health, you wouldn't even be concerned about COVID, because you know that shit is out of your frequency. You're not even catching no illnesses that's if your diet is good, which is the reason why niggas like me have not gotten sick from the COVID and have not been wearing a mask or any gloves. So I've been traveling around. I've been multiple places. Bro, this shit, it come down to your health. The virus could be real. The virus could be fake. It doesn't fucking matter. If you are healthy and you put good things into your body will return the favor. You're not getting sick because of a virus. You're getting sick because the shit that you putting in your body is garbage, and your body is starting to shut down and it can't fight shit. If your immune system was at the level it's supposed to be, you wouldn't even have to worry about getting sick. You wouldn't have to worry about fighting off no virus, because you wouldn't even know you had one if you had it. You feel me? So that's what y'all got to understand. These masks are not certified to protect from a virus. They're not. You know that. When you put it on, it don't even cover your entire face. So stop that. Niggas got shirts and fucking t-shirts and shit around their face and workout masks like this one. You could damn near see through this. It's niggas walking around with this on, and you can see through this. You can clearly see my green shirt through this motherfucking mask. Now tell me how that's protecting you from a virus. Now that we know that these masks don't work, there's actually a specific mask that you need to have. It's called an NR95 or something like that. Look it up. It's specified to stop 95% of air coming through.
I'm saying they didn't swab me or test me or nothing to look what the fuck papers say. Reason for visit, fever. Diagnosis, COVID-19. They didn't test me for this shit. He told me I had it, bro. He didn't test me for it. He told me I fucking had it, bro. He told me I fucking had it, bro. Come on now. Look at what my temperature was. I ain't even had no temperature when I went in that bitch. Come on now. But because I told him I can't taste and smell, he know I got it. Oh, well, that's the number one symptom that's been going around lately is not the smell or taste. So I'm not going to say, we're just going to say you have it and quarantine you for 2 weeks. That's exactly what he said, bro. We're just going to say you have it. We're just going to tell you have it. So they diagnosed me with coronavirus.
A group of German physicists. The circle in the background is a kind of mirror that, combined with a special photography technique, allows you to see the flow of air. In this case, it is showing how far air particles travel when someone breathes, and when they cough, which makes the respiratory particles travel further and faster. This is what it looks like when someone coughs into their hand and into their elbow. And this shows the travel of air particles when coughing while wearing two types of masks, a dust mask and a surgical mask. This isn't a scientific study. It simply shows something face masks do very well. They limit how far away from you respiratory particles can travel. In some East Asian countries, it's already common practice. Some European countries have also started mandating face masks in public spaces. But in the US, the message from the federal government has been inconsistent.
There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. It's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
CDC recommends wearing cloth face coverings in public settings where other social distancing measures are difficult to maintain.
This is voluntary. I don't think I'm going to be doing it.
Unless you...
Could compulsory face mask policies be the answer? Well, in a moment, we'll talk to an expert from the WHO. But first, this report.
Not all respirator masks are created equal. We can generally distinguish between three main types. So-called filtering facepiece, or FFP masks, fit snugly around the nose, mouth, and chin and filter out the tiniest airborne particles. The most effective type lets no viruses in or out. An exhalation valve makes breathing easier but increases the risk of viruses escaping. So an unvalved FFP mask protects both the wearer and the person they encounter. With a valve, it only reliably protects the wearer. FFP masks are in short supply worldwide, so they should be mainly reserved for medical personnel. A mask that's often seen nowadays is this simple protective facepiece for the mouth and nose. Known as a surgical mask, it consists of several layers of paper or non-woven fabric with a thin wire to make it fit over the nose. When the wearer coughs or sneezes, the surgical mask blocks the large droplets. But on inhalation, air also flows in over the sides. That means it mainly protects others from infection rather than the wearer. Once the mask is wet from breathing after 8 hours wearing time at the most, it has to be discarded. In the COVID-19 crisis, professionally manufactured masks are in short supply. That's led to a flourishing cottage industry in DIY masks. Whether using handkerchiefs, t-shirts, or vacuum cleaner bags, people all around the world are revving up their sewing machines. A textile mask functions rather like a protective mask made of paper, but generally has a poor seal and blocks only a third of the droplets that a surgical mask does, according to a study. However, a cloth mask can be washed and reused. The most important thing is, no matter which mask you wear, it can only be effective if used with hygiene measures, like thorough hand washing and keeping a safe distance from others.
All right, now that y'all realize that these masks don't work, take this into consideration. You've been for the past year walking around with a mask and it does not work. You know that for a fact now. Your mask does not work. It don't work. And you still have not gotten sick yet. So outside of wearing a mask, what else have you been doing to prevent yourself from getting sick? Because this mask ain't been working. So in essence, you really been good this whole time without the mask or not. In reality, because you ain't had no gloves on. You're not going to argue with me about cross-contamination. If you don't have no gloves on, at some point you're going to touch your face. You're going to touch your car handle. You got to grab shit out of the grocery store. You mean to tell me as many times you done been to the gas station, grocery store and touched all this money, you ain't gotten sick yet? Come on, bro. And for the people that have got sick, bro, it's the motherfucking flu. It's flu season. This shit started in flu season, and the next run's supposed to happen in flu season again, bro. This shit is just a regular flu. Only people that's dying from this is elders, is older people who are already at a high risk for from dying from an illness because they're older. That's and people who immune system is shit, that eat like shit. I guarantee you, if you backtrack anybody that's died from the coronavirus, they are not vegan. I promise you that. Show me a nigga that's vegan that died from the coronavirus. And I'm not trying to knock nobody that eat meat, but y'all niggas need to understand y'all health. Y'all need to understand that you can't eat like shit and then expect to be living like the healthiest nigga on the planet. It don't work like that. You got to take care of your body, period. But that's it, y'all. Peace.